Well, I'll tell you what happened last Easter. Mom let me out of Easter Sunday dinner, which is a rarity, to go be with my dad. We got Knicks tickets, last minute Knicks tickets. So nobody wanted to go to that game. It was just, and it was Easter Sunday at like 7 o'clock at night. So it's like, so I got courtside, like feet on the court. My father and I are feet on the court of this. Okay. So we're sitting next to Phil Collins. Okay. We don't even realize it's Phil Collins, but he's sitting right next. Have you heard the story?
No,
okay,
but I love the I love it.
So we're sitting next to Phil Collins.
Right.
So, sometimes when you're sitting like courtside, at Knicks games especially,
explain to me and Shannon how it is, because we don't know.
Well, it's your feet are on the court, and you're just pretty much, just think about like if you were an ancient emperor or ruler.
Right.
That's what it felt like.
Okay.
Just I could do whatever the fuck I wanted, and I could just point at people, and they would go away. So, anyway, they were gonna put me on the Jumbotron. Again, there's nobody there. So they put me on the Jumbotron. I had hosted a show for MSG, the Madison Square Garden Network, called The Bracket with the villain of this podcast and the guy we don't want to name, Freddie. So they put Phil Collins before, because he's like an older guy and you just don't think you're sitting next to someone like that. Like 5 seconds before, he'd asked me and my dad if we wanted Easter candy. He was like, "You guys want some Easter candy?" And my dad, I politely declined because I was watching my sugar. My dad, being a fucking full-blown diabetic,
candy from Phil Collins.
I didn't even realize it was Phil Collins.
I think that's the thing you're grazing over that our listeners are probably going to really want to sink their teeth into. Well, if they could. Well, you'll eat personal pan pizzas from just anybody who offers it to you. Phil Collins, legendary singer, offers you candy. You suddenly can't handle it.
Well, I'll have my listeners know, and I guess
are they your listeners?
I'll have some.
I thought I was on the podcast.
I'll have some.
This is crazy how quickly and selfish this got.
I'll have some follow-up questions for you after I finish my story, but I don't accept anybody. I don't accept anything from anybody who's not an American. Last I checked, Phil Collins is from Britain.
Right.
Last I checked, we won the war. They tried to keep us as a Commonwealth, could not do it because of mostly France sent their entire army, but we won, our independence from them.
Yeah, our bravery too.
Our bravery. So I don't talk to anyone who's not an American. So Phil Collins, they say, "You want to go on the Jumbotron?" Yeah. To me, they asked me, "Want to go on the Jumbotron?" Phil Collins then says, "Do you mind putting me on first? I got to get out of here." So we looked, and then my dad looked, and it was like, "Oh shit, it's Phil Collins." So I'm like, I say to Phil Collins then, I said, now I know it's Phil Collins. Like, then I looked at him and I was like, oh shit. I was like, can I do it first? Like, this is happening. Like, the guy's like, we got to go. Like, the guy with the camera's like,
right.
We're queuing shit up. So I'm like, do you mind if I go on first? Because it's going to be horrifying to follow Phil. Nobody knows who I am. And this is Phil fucking Collins.
Yeah.
So Phil just looks at me and says, I'm going next.
That's great.
Like, and me and my dad, and then all of a sudden you're and then they start playing. I feel it coming in. All of a sudden they put him on standing. Oh, I've never, still to this day, standing ovation. He was on camera for like 30 seconds and playing the song, and they hit the drums.
What was he doing while he was on?
Just looking at the camera.
Was he pointing at you? Like, fuck off.
Probably hit me in the head with his Easter candy. Yeah. Then that finishes. Next clip up, they just show like a shitty clip of me from that MSG show, put me on camera, people start booing. People literally, because it was just like cut off Phil Collins, and like they don't know who I am. We heard like people from like the section behind us, like, who the fuck is that guy? And then Phil Collins, and then it was over, and then nobody clapped. It was like brutal. And then Phil Collins gave me and my dad his Easter candy and said, "Hope you have a better day tomorrow." That's what he said to me. Crazy. But then he laughed. And gave me like a noogie, like rubbed my head, like it was all a joke for him. So like he did it on purpose because he knew nobody was going to know who I am, and he knows he's Phil Collins. Said, "Hope you have a better day tomorrow. Happy Easter," and gave my dad the Easter candy and rubbed my head. It was fucking nuts.